Hey everybody. Hello, and welcome to today's and this week's Tuesday Tip for Two. Listen, I'm Danielle J. Mitchell, your up and coming queen of real estate, and I'm here to give you, I believe it's nine facts, nine home buyer facts today. Last week I did home selling or home seller facts, frequently asked questions, okay, FAQ. And so today I'm going to give you the home buying ones, all right? So, really quickly, we're going to just go through this. And yeah. All right. Are you guys ready? Listen, the first thing I need you guys to do, I need you to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. Okay. So that's the first thing I need you guys to do. Now, the second thing I need you guys to do is listen. So let's get into it. All right. So the first question that we're going to go through, frequently asked questions, is what is the first step in the home buying process? All right. So really, this question is really, it depends on where you are in your process, right? So if you're a person whose credit score is, low and not ready, then of course the first step for you would be to work on your credit. I can't talk today, guys. I don't know what's going on. Your first step would be to work on your credit. Okay. So that would definitely be the first step, is to work on your credit. All right. So let's say your credit is fine and you need some more savings, right? So your first step would be to continue to save. Okay. Um, because really you want to do those steps first. Now, let's say your credit is fine, you have a decent savings account because you're just a person who saves anyway, or at the very least, you were like, I know I want to buy a house, so I'm gonna just start putting money away, right? Fantastic. Then the first step in order for you to buy a house is to get pre-approved. Okay. So in that instance, the first step is to get pre-approved. Your credit is decent. Maybe you're a person who's like, I pay my bills. I just try to do what I'm supposed to do. I may not even know everything about credit, but I just make sure I pay my bills. I have credit cards, and my credit score is 700, above 700. I don't even know how I got there. I just do my due diligence and paying things off, right, and just being on top of my stuff. And I'm a saver anyway, right? So, and like I said, in that case, you need to just get pre-approved. That's what you got to do. Get pre-approved. All right. So it depends where you are in the home buying process. But if you have not found me as your realtor, you need to get pre-approved. If you're working on your credit, you need to get that credit at least at a 620. If you are trying to save some money, you need to save at least 10% of the purchase price that you're going to use. Now, you may not know what that purchase price is, right? But if you're looking at houses in the area you like and it's a certain number, that's probably a starting point. You may not be able to afford those houses. You may or may not. But that is a good starting point. Okay. So, should I sell my current property? I can't talk today. Should I sell my current property before buying a new one? It's a tricky question, right? So, again, it depends on the scenario based type questions, right? There's no blanket answer for any home buyer, okay? Because guess what? If you need the equity or the funds from the sale of that property towards your next property, then ideally, yes. And you pretty much need to do it almost simultaneously, right? So you have times where a buyer needs the funds from the house that they're currently in that they're going to sell towards the next purchase. So you put that house on the market, you get it ready, and you make that home purchase or home sell contingent upon you being able to find a house. And hopefully you can you can find a house quickly, sell, simultaneously, maybe a same day closing where you're selling one and buying your house, the same day. So it really depends. Now, if you're a person that does not need the funds from the sale of your current property, the funds from that to go towards your next property, then sure, you don't have to sell your property first, right? Before buying a new one, you can just go ahead, get pre-approved and all that good stuff. And if your pre-approval is enough for you to proceed forward and get the kind of house that you want in the area that you want, then by all means go ahead. So it really just depends on the scenario. Next home buyer question. Should I do a home inspection? Absolutely. I know we're living in a day and age where home buying is crazy. Selling your house is crazy, but you should absolutely get a home inspection. Now, depending, again, these are all depending on your scenario. You might waive your home inspection contingency, which I talked about in the past in other videos, what that is. You might waive the contingency, but even if you waive the contingency, which means if something comes up in the home inspection I don't like or freaks me out, I have the opportunity to back out of it within that time frame of the contingency, right? Or you have to repair it, as a seller or something like that. But if you remove that contingency, that just means that the sale of the home is not contingent upon the home inspection. That means that, listen, whatever happens in the home inspection, you just gotta just eat that, right? So depending on the house, depending on the circumstances, scenario, you might want to waive the inspection contingency. But even if you waive it, you still want to get a home inspection done for informational purposes only, right? So you still want to get it done on those cases because you want to know about your home. You want to know if something comes up, something may come up down the line. You want to know about your home and have information on it. Should you do a final walkthrough? Absolutely. You sure should. I have a closing tomorrow. Whoop whoop, excited. And I typically like to do walkthroughs right before we go to the settlement table. Right before. I've heard stories from other colleagues where, they did it the night before, or a day or two before, and then all of a sudden there's a fan missing, outlet missing, I don't know, stuff missing. So I like to be like, listen, we're going to go sign this paper, and we know exactly what the house looks like at least a half hour, 45 minutes before we go sign the papers. So I say do a final walkthrough just to make sure everything is what it's supposed to be. How does earnest money deposit work? Okay, EMD, as I like to call it, earnest money deposit. Earnest money deposit, it is not your down payment. Your down payment has to do with your mortgage. Your earnest money deposit has to do with it is the good faith money for your contract when you go under contract. Okay, the contract. What contract we're talking about? The agreement of sale. That is the contract. When you see contingent, under contract, all that other stuff, it is the agreement of sale. And so when you say, I want to put an offer on the house, you can't just sign a contract and not put money down. You put money down and then you got a deal where you're under contract. Okay. So earnest money is similar to a deposit. When we rent to the space, it is made on in good faith. Okay. Good faith money to demonstrate to the seller that the buyer offer is legitimate. Okay. It's legitimate. It's real. Okay. That's what's going to make that earnest money deposit is what's going to make um, that property go under contract. Okay. It's typically 1 to 2%, 1 to 3% of the purchase price. Okay, so if you put an offer for $100,000, you're putting down $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. Now, in this competitive market, okay, in this seller's market, some people are putting down more than that to show again that good faith that hey, this is going to go through. Also, earnest money deposit. If things do not go through, like again, inspection contingency, something goes wrong, you get that money back. All right. If you just randomly fall off the face of the earth, or just for something silly outside of the contingencies, you decide to terminate the contract, you are in jeopardy of losing that earnest money deposit. How many houses should I view before purchasing one? Don't know. It depends. It depends. I this client that I'm about to close with tomorrow, we saw not many houses. I don't know how many, but it wasn't many. I think we went on two separate showings, and yeah, that was it. I've closed houses where we went on one tour of showings. Right, we saw 5 houses, and that was it. And that by the next day we were under contract. I've been with people where it was months of searching, months of looking, and it's like, oh, this has been a long journey, on and off searching. Right, start searching for a little bit and then stop, and then start again. Right. So it really just depends on what you're looking for, what area, what the inventory is, what your budget is. It's so many factors that go into it. So there's no concrete answer. Okay. Next one. What happens if I decide to back out of buying a house? Again, it depends on the reasoning. And again, you can put your earnest money deposit in jeopardy. Okay. Um, it really just depends. So most times sellers will just give back the money if, a buyer had a change of heart. Now, not all sellers. You might get with, a jerk. Just to be honest, it might be just a jerk seller who's like, no, I'm gonna show them. And it's typically like an investor, you know what I mean? It's like, and they don't even need the money. It's just like they just want to be a jerk, So it depends. So if you go in for a house, don't feel pressure, don't feel this, don't feel that. You want to go in there with the full assurance and confidence that you want the house. Or if something does come up in the inspection or appraisal contingency, that's different, right? You want to use those moments to back out of a deal, so you can get your earnest money deposit back with no problem, right? What is a mortgage and how does it work? Mortgage is a type of loan to finance a property, okay? Most people are not wealthy. They don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars of cash laying around. So a mortgage serves as a secure loan that comes fixed, of course, with a fixed interest rate and gets paid off over 15, 30 years, all that good stuff. Of course, you can refinance your mortgage as well. Last question. What is the process of using an escrow entail? An escrow is a term that refers to a neutral third party hired to handle the exchange of money. So that is a title company. Um, and they handle the exchange of money, the property transaction, and related documents. The title company holds the money and documents in a trust until all terms and conditions of the sale are satisfied. Also, a listing company might hold your earnest money in deposit or the title company. When deposited in an earnest money deposit, it is wise to use an escrow account. All right. So typically, when you that earnest money deposit is handed off to the listing brokerage or is handed off to the title company, and the title company are the ones who might hold the money, all the documents and all that good stuff that is entailed with the purchase of a home. All right, those are the 9 questions, frequently asked questions of a buyer's buying someone buying a home. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining me for today's and this week's Tuesday Tip at 2. I hope that wasn't too fast. If you didn't catch all of that, listen, you need to do a free consultation anyway, right? So if you missed something, please feel free. I serve the Philadelphia and surrounding suburbs, which is Delaware County and Montgomery County. So if you are in PA, I can help you. All right. You can go to book, it's over here, book.djmrealtyco.com. And let's talk about it. If you're interested in buying or selling your home, I am that woman to help you. Listen, remember there is no place like home, no place like home buying. If this could help you or somebody else, send it to them. All right. Please share and comment also below to let me know if this was helpful to you. Thank you guys. I will talk to you soon. Bye.